So Happy New Year! And welcome to the Godly Playroom at First United Church. My name is Ruth Lomax, and it's my privilege to be here telling stories. Although, as you might have guessed, I'm not here on the morning of New Year's. We did this story recording a little bit earlier. And it's not quite Epiphany yet. That doesn't happen until January 6th. But we'll be back into other stories by the time you come back to the Godly Playroom on January 8th. So, we thought we would tell the story of Epiphany today. But before we do that, I wonder what you need to help you be ready to enter the story today. Maybe you want to find a candle, or to find some art materials, or something that you can have for your feast later. We trust that there will be enough. Whatever you find. And know that you can pause the video at any point if you need to do that. So let's take a deep breath and make space for the Spirit. We remember that once there was someone who said such amazing things and did such wonderful things that people began to follow him. And the more they followed him, the more they wondered who he was. And one time they just had to ask, "Who are you?" And one time when they asked him that question, he said, "I am the light." And the light continues to shine, which is about this season of Epiphany, the following of the wild star. And we join the Magi, who set out from so far away, they don't get here till after the baby is born. But we remember them in the season of Epiphany anyway. And this will also be changed to the color white or gold, depending on, for the Christmas season, both the Sunday and the Sunday following Christmas. Because Christmas is too big a mystery to hold it into just one day. We haven't got around to doing that yet. Perhaps you'll get to see it done when you come back to the Godly Playroom. I'm going to get the story materials ready, and you can take a deep breath and settle into your space, do what you need to be ready, and come on back whenever you are. This is the Christmas season, which is normally the color white. But we haven't updated our banner yet. It still shows only one white week in that time between Advent and Epiphany. We'll have to fix that soon, at least before you get back into the room. So let's just take a deep breath together. And another one. Are you ready to enter a story? Today's story is a very big story, and you'll find it normally right here on the Advent and Christmas shelves. But I've moved things a little closer just so that I'm not scrounging around. I think that's pretty much everything we need for today. This story is called Epiphany, and it's copyright by Godly Play and shared with permission, but it uses some of the materials from other stories. Here is the Bethlehem, and some of you will remember this story. We tell it in those weeks of Advent leading up to the mystery of Christmas. It helps us get ready. We didn't tell it in the room this year. There were some videos online that you are welcome to watch. So we remember in that first week of Advent, we remembered the prophets who helped point the way. They pointed the way to Bethlehem. And in the second week, we remembered the Holy Family, the Mother Mary and the Father Joseph and the donkey that Mary rode on that long journey from Nazareth to Bethlehem. On the third week, we remember the shepherds who were keeping watch over their flocks in the hills around Bethlehem when they heard the angel's song. There was a message about peace and goodwill for everyone. On the fourth week, we remembered the Magi, even though they don't usually arrive until much later. But they are already on this journey that is not just back then, but now. And here is the card that we remember and share on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day when we have those services. We remember the child that was born, who changes everything, and a cow that was so surprised to find a baby in her manger. This was the mystery of Christmas, but Christmas has come and gone. We are entering into the season of Epiphany soon. And so today we welcome the Magi, the wise ones. They might not normally arrive until a little bit later, but we welcome them in anticipation of the Feast of Epiphany, which is normally celebrated January 6th, I think, or the Sunday closest. We remember the Magi and their very important gifts for this special child. Here's the light of the prophets. Here's the light of the Holy Family. Here's the light of the shepherds. Here's the light of the Magi. And of the Christ child. And here are the Magi. They are finally here with their gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. Here is the gold. Gold is a gift fit for a king or queen. The child who is born would grow up to be a king, but he was a different kind of king, and he valued gold far less than he valued other things. Here is the frankincense. Frankincense is used during worship. The Magi who came to worship the child. Frankincense, when it's burned, is often used during worship. It releases a sweet smelling smoke that helps people with their prayers. See, at first it turns black, and then as it burns white, it gives off that fragrant smoke. Here is the myrrh. Myrrh is sometimes used at a funeral, or it might even be placed with the body for burial. It also turns a little bit black when it first burns and gives off quite a black smoke. It smells quite different than the frankincense. Some people like myrrh, and some people like the frankincense better. But the myrrh reminds us that there was something about this baby's death that would be very important. The myrrh smells very different than the frankincense, but both are important. Gifts fit for a king, but reminders that this king would be very different. Now watch what happens when I change the light. The light of the prophets, the light of the Holy Family, the light of the shepherds and the angels, the light of the Magi, and the light of the Christ child. Whoa, there is so much light in this room, and it's mixing and mingling, and it will spread out, and it might even get so thin that it almost disappears. But that doesn't mean it isn't there anymore. It just means that we can't see it. But it will mix together and find its way to wherever you are. So that wherever you are, you can come close to the whole mystery that is Christmas. Sometimes Epiphany is called the little Christmas. It is that opportunity to remember and celebrate again as we prepare to welcome the Magi and remember their gifts for this very special child who changes everything. Well, you might like to do some more wondering about this story. So I'm going to put it away, and you can begin to think about what work you might like to do in response to this story. There's a lot of things to put away. There is the myrrh. It's just kind of little bits of, almost looks like big spices, which it is. It probably doesn't taste very good. I don't think we should try eating it. And the frankincense, which is a little bit bigger. It smells quite different when we burn it. And the gold. I wonder what gifts you received over Christmas that you liked best. and the tweezers and the little table that we use when we burn the incense, which I'm just going to set off to the side because I'll need to wipe some of that resin off before I put it away. It's very black and sticky looking. Whenever you're in the room, if you'd like to work with this story, please ask whoever is storytelling that day so that they can help you with the matches and the candles. And the Magi, who come from so far away in the east. They rarely get there until after the baby is born. The light of the Christ. Maybe we should light that again for our use. And then it can be burning while we are working. But I will put it back up here on the shelf so that it is out of the way. The light of the prophets and of the Holy Family, the shepherds and angels, and the Magi. We're almost getting to a point where we're going to need new candles. And the cards that remind us of each of the weeks of Advent, helping us get ready to enter into the mystery. That is Christmas. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in that time of getting ready to help us move from the color blue to the color white. Some churches, Advent is purple, and sometimes Christmas is the color gold. And the Bethlehem model. I'm going to get my work out, and I invite you to find some art materials and see what you would like to work with today in response to this lesson. So I wonder what you found for your art materials today. I'm still a little bit in that whole sparkle glitter time of Christmas. And so I found a whole bunch of glitter in the back closet. And I thought I might have some fun with that. It's hard to believe that we are already beginning a new year together. Maybe it's a little bit like the journey of the Magi this new year. We start out and we don't know quite where it will lead. Especially if we're following a wild star. Wild stars go where they will. There's no telling where it might lead us. I wonder what journeys you might go on this year. It's still hard to know how much travel is safe to do. But many people are hoping to have time over the Christmas and New Year's break to spend with family. Although I think your holidays might just about be over. Time to go back to school. This might have worked better if I had better glue. But there's something fun about sprinkling a little bit of glitter here and there. I wonder how you might add a little sparkle to this coming year. Or what things you might do that help brighten a day for somebody else. Maybe it's helping somebody out. I have lots of glitter here. I think I'm going to be wearing glitter for a while. Sometimes the sparkle doesn't show up until it's very dark. Sometimes our life is a little bit like that too. Seems like nothing's going right some days, and then something happens. It's like we open the lid and poof, the glitter goes everywhere. I know when people smile at me, that's God sprinkling a little bit of glitter into my day. And that's something I can do. It's a little harder to see when everybody's masked, but you can usually tell when somebody smiles with their eyes. I wonder what unexpected visitors you might have. Like those magi who traveled from so far away. There are so many people on the move in our world, coming long distances. And sometimes when they get here, it's not at all like they expected. A little bit like that baby, who wasn't at all what they had expected. Not the kind of king, certainly, they thought he would be. He wasn't born in a palace or didn't have soldiers. He was born in kind of a backwoods place. I wonder how often we miss out on all of that background because we're so caught up in the glittery, sparkly stuff. Well, I'm going to begin to put this away. I think it's going to be a while before we get the glitter all moved, but enough that I can get ready for my feast. I wonder what you'll have for feast today. You can pause the camera at any time while you do your cleanup, and I'll see you back here in a little bit as we get ready for our prayers. So welcome back. I got a little bit of the glitter moved, but I think I just spread it around the room while I was cleaning up. So I'm still going, I think, to sanitize my hands. before we say our prayers. I wonder what you would like to pray about today. Is there something for which you're particularly thankful? Maybe a gift that you got over the Christmas holidays. Maybe that was something under the tree, or maybe it was a visit with someone you haven't seen for a while, or a phone call, or time to just enjoy the lights, go for a walk outside. Maybe you'd like to pray about something that's a little concerning. Maybe you're anxious about going back to school or back to work, or wondering what this new year will hold. Maybe you're concerned about people who are traveling and then you just want them to arrive safely. Maybe you're just excited and you want to share that with God. Prayers can happen at any time of the day or night. Sometimes we speak them, sometimes we sing them, sometimes we offer them in silence or with a touch, or our whole body wiggles in prayer and joy and gratitude. So let's take another deep breath together and give thanks to God, who gifts us with this beautiful earth, for seasons, for the sparkle of glitter like sunlight on snow or in icicles, for warm places on cool nights and brightly colored lights, and for the gifts of friendship, both those that are yet to be discovered and those long-standing ones that just feel comfortable, like wrapping ourselves in a warm blanket. And we ask God's blessing on all of our living in this coming year, that we might know God's presence and God's guidance as clearly as those Magi knew the wild star. May we follow where God leads and discover the Christ waiting for us. Amen. Well, my feast today is special. Like I said, there were Rancho Vignola treats, some of the dried fruit and nuts, and I still have some. So there's some peanuts here. They're crunchy and salty, and some mini jelly beans, and a glass of water, which I am ready to have after all of that light mingling in this room and the smoke from the myrrh and the frankincense. Whew. I am ready for a drink of water. I wonder what your favorite Christmas treats are. In our house, we have the tradition of always putting an orange, a mandarin orange, in the toe of our stockings. And when I was growing up, there was the orange, and there would be some of that hard candy, you know, the stuff with stripes on it. Or they're just sometimes folded over like a ribbon. That was pretty much all we got. And maybe one or two other things, like a new deck of cards or some game. Maybe some pencils, some art materials. Now there's a lot more stuff goes into our stockings. And there was a time we had to be really careful because if we put too many chocolates in, we had a dog that was very good at opening stockings and getting at the chocolate. I wonder what surprised you over Christmas. Think about that cow who got up that morning and found a baby in her manger instead of her breakfast. Maybe you didn't find a baby in your stocking. Maybe there is some other surprises though. Those are good kind of surprises usually. I wonder what your favorite Christmas treats are. These jelly beans are good. I think there might even be some more of these things for sale if you missed them the first time around. Whew. That one's a little more tart, but pretty sweet. I think I like the salty better. Maybe it's a little bit like myrrh and frankincense. I mean, some people like sweet, some people like salty. Some people like them together. Well, whatever you have to feast, I hope it replenishes your body, just as our time together replenishes our spirit. And it's time already to say goodbye. And before we know it, we're at the end of our time. So watch what happens when I change the light. So that it isn't just in this one place and time, but it can be in many places and anytime. Didn't happen yet. No. Oh, there we go. And this room will be full of light. And the light will make its way to wherever you are. God bless. Be well. And look after one another.